Now let's look at the gains and losses from imports. From the same example, let's find out the consumer surplus and the producer surplus when there is no international trade. So we know that the area under the demand curve and over the price is the consumer surplus. So the green triangle here under the demand curve and over the price of t-shirts is the consumer surplus. And we also know that the area above the supply curve and under the price is the producer surplus. So this blue triangle is our producer surplus when there is no international trade. Now what happens if the market is open to imports? What happens to the consumer and producer surplus in this case? Let's find the consumer surplus again, which is the area under the demand curve and over the price. In this case, we have seen that the price is $5 according to the world price. So the area above the price and under the demand curve is the area A plus B plus D, right? So here we can see that the consumer surplus has expanded. The area B is the transfer of surplus from the producer surplus to the consumer surplus, and the area D is the increase in total surplus, which was missing when there was no trade. And how about the producer surplus? It's the area above the supply curve and below the price, which is the area C. So the producer surplus has shrunk due to the availability of imported t-shirts. So from this picture, we can clearly see that the total surplus, which is A plus B plus C plus D, is greater than the total surplus when there was no international trade. So we can see that there has been a gain from the imports. And this increase is caused by the additional purchase of t-shirts due to the lower price because of the availability of international trade. So we can see that because US is open to trade and consumers can enjoy imported goods, there has been a gain in their surplus, and the amount of gain is the area D. Now let's look at the graphical representation of a market of exports. So here we have two graphs. In the first graph, we have quantity of airplanes on the x-axis and price of airplanes on the y-axis. We have demand of airplanes and supply of airplanes in US. And in the first scenario, there is no trade. So when there is no trade, we find the price at the equilibrium point, and the equilibrium point is at the intersection of demand and supply, and we can see that the price with no trade is $100 million per airplane. And at this price, the quantity bought and quantity produced is equal, and the amount is 400 airplanes per year. This is the case when there is no trade. And what happens when there is trade? So if the market is open to trade, then the price of the airplanes is decided by the world market. And according to the world market, the price of airplanes is $150 million per airplane. So let's find out what is the quantity bought and sold at this price. The quantity bought at this price is 200 airplanes per year, but the quantity sold at this price is 700 airplanes per year. So we can see the amount of quantity that is produced is much larger than the quantity that is bought by US. So what happens to the extra amount of airplanes that has been produced? US exports these airplanes to other countries. So if we deduct the quantity bought from the quantity produced, we can find the exact export amount of the airplane. So in this case, the quantity produced is 700 and the quantity bought in US is 200, and the quantity that is exported to other countries is 700 minus 200, which is 500 airplanes per year. So if the country is open to trade, then US can export 500 airplanes per year. Okay, so now let's look at the gains and losses from exports. So for first scenario is when there is no trade. When there is no trade, it's very simple. So we can find the consumer surplus here just below the demand curve and over the price. The green triangle is the consumer surplus, and the producer surplus is the area above the supply curve and below the price, which is the blue area. And what happens if US is open to trade? In that case, the price that of the airplanes will be according to the world price, and it is 150. So let's look at the consumer surplus. It's the area below the demand curve, and over the price, it's the green triangle A. Okay, so we can see that compared to the case of when there was no trade, the consumer surplus was larger. Okay, but what happens to the producer surplus? Okay, and is there any net gain after trade? Let's find that out. So we know how to find the producer surplus. It's the area above the supply curve and below the price. So this big triangle is the producer surplus, which is B plus C plus D. Okay, so here this area is much larger than this area, right? So we can already see that the producer surplus has expanded. Okay, and now if we compare with the total surplus of the scenario when there is trade to the scenario when there is no trade, we can see whether we have gained or lost from this export. Okay, so if we calculate the area, we can find out that this is the net gain of surplus due to the exports. How does this happen? It happens because of the raised price due to the trade and increased amount of airplanes sold. Okay, that is why we can earn this amount of surplus, because the nation is open to trade. So if the nation was not open to trade, then the scenario would be like this. So the surplus would be lesser, but if the nation is open to trade, then the scenario will be this, and we can clearly see that the surplus, the total surplus when there is trade is much larger than the total surplus when there is no trade. So we can say that there has been a gain due